This is Mr. Elmhorst with the help video for the Solving Two-Step Equations Mastery Practice. We're going to focus on the strategy that we've been using in class from the lesson. Draw a line down through the equal sign, creating a left side and a right side for solving, and then identify the variable term and whatever sign might be to the left of that sign. So the variable term will go to step 2, and step 1 we're going to focus on adding or subtracting. So step 1 we have subtracting. So we're going to add in order to solve. So the -3 and +3 will cancel. And now we bring the variable term down to step 2. And on the right side, we had 1, then we added 3, so we end up with 4. And for step 2, we're going to multiply or divide to help us solve. And we have multiplication, so we're going to do the inverse. We're going to divide by 2 to help us solve. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. So now we have x by itself equal to 4 divided by 2, which is 2. Number 3, draw a line down through the equal sign. Circle the variable term with the sign to the left. And we're going to start with adding or subtracting to solve. We have adding, so we are going to subtract. And what we do on one side of the line, we're going to do to the other. +4, -4. Now we bring the variable term down to the next step. And we have +1, which is going to the right, and we have -4. We're going to go more negative than we go positive. Step 2, we're going to multiply or divide. Now, because this is negative, it's like multiplying by a negative. So we're going to divide by a negative to undo the multiplying. So the negative divided by negative becomes positive. Now we're left with x, which is equal to 3, and there's a negative divided by negative, which is going to be a positive. Okay. Draw a line down through the equal sign, circle the variable term and the left side, and we're going to add or subtract. Add or subtract for step 1. We have subtracting, so we're going to add to undo the subtraction, negative, positive. Now we're going to bring the variable term down to step 2. So 4y equals -12. If you go -18 and then you go +6, you're getting less negative, which means you're finding the difference between those two. So we end up with 12 negatives. Now we need to multiply or divide to solve. This is multiplication, so we are going to divide to solve. Divide by 4, divide by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1, so now we have y is equal to -3. Draw a line down through the equal sign, circle the variable term, and now we're just going to get into the habits of opposites. Positive, negative. So I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. These are going to cancel. Now we have x divided by 5, which is equal to negative 3, negative 2. We're going to end up at negative 5. So if you go negative and then negative, it's only a direction. You're going to stay negative because you're just going negative 3 to the left and then 2 more to the left. So yeah, multiplying and dividing for step 2. This fraction means division, so we're going to multiply to solve. Times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. Those are going to multiply by 5, divide by 5. Those are going to cancel. So now we have x is equal to 5 times 5, and a negative times not negative is going to be still negative. Circle the variable term. I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. So there's adding, so we're going to subtract to solve. That's going to remove it from the left side. Now we have the variable term on the left, negative 3x. And we have 12 minus 6, which is 6. There's multiplication, so we're going to divide to solve. And we have a negative, so we need to divide by that negative to remove it. So divide by negative 3, divide by negative 3. 3 divided by 3, negative divided by negative. Those are all going to cancel. Now we're left with x is equal to negative 2.